Hello everybody and welcome back to another StarCraft 2 commentary. I am P to the Psi, and this is G to the AIM, N to the Umber, T to the Hurry in the IEM Intel Extreme Masters Tournament. This is the Championship Series featuring AcerElfi in the top as the red Protoss and EGIdrA in the right as the blue Zerg, and the map I believe is Terminus Re. You guys know how terrible I am with map names. I know like map structure and geometry and geography or whatever, but I'm terrible with names. Someone needs to like make me flashcards with all the different map images so I can study them at night and just have them down pat for every single cast. And man, I am a baller with flashcards. I remember like in my art history class in college, Marilyn Monroe, or like the Anthony Warhol painting with Marilyn Monroe, like we had to memorize dates, and I'd be like, oh, 1953, because her boobs are 53 pounds heavy. And so like you would see the picture and you think, oh, her boobs, oh, they're 53 pounds. And it just like makes you remember things a lot better if you add like a deeper descriptive meaning to it, like deep processing type thing. So yeah, if you ever have to learn about how big someone's boobs are, just associate it with like a number. Or that didn't make sense at all. I'm going to stop talking about that now. Anyway, the series is tied 1-1. We've seen some really cool Phoenix play so far from AcerElfi, and I'm curious if he's going to try that again this game. But the first game, it didn't really work out so well. He got the Phoenix really late, and there just wasn't enough to deal with all the mutas that IEDRA had. In Game 2, however, it looked like IEDRA was going to hold off a really creative Phoenix first Warp Prism play with like 5 or 6 gateways. But then IEDRA, he kind of overextended his Hydras a little bit and never really took care of the Phoenix count. And the Phoenix just picked off the overextended Hydras one by lifting him up. And then another wave of Zealots came in, and it just was not looking good for IEDRA. And Elfi ended up taking it after a long, drawn-out battle in IEDRA's main. So I'm really curious to see if Elfi's going to be going that Phoenix route once again, and if he does, if IEDRA does something a little bit differently to deal with it. Now we are seeing a hatch first from IEDRA, and I think his hatch first build is based primarily on the type of map they play on and how susceptible he is to cannoning. Now, like right here, for example, you can get 2 pylons. Actually, there's a little hole right here, so maybe not. But I don't really know the Protoss cannon susceptibility on certain maps. But he did go hatch first, and this is a larger map. That might be why. Maybe he's just feeling a little bit lucky. But Elfi actually going gateway first this time and chrono boosting a Stalker. So going to put on some early pressure with that first Stalker. Did not even bother with the Zealot. And, you know, great Protoss players, great Terran players alike, they know when a Zerg player is about to finish their speed. And as we can see here, IEDRA nowhere close to the speed. He likes to get the Geyser as the second hatchery finishes, so his speed is going to be late, and you know, maybe he can pick off a Zergling or two, maybe get some scouting info, kill a drone. But this Stalker is going to be alive for quite a while. Speed about to start for IEDRA. He's got about 3 more carries. Queen popping out. There's the inject, and yeah, I mean, Stalkers are kind of like Hellions, in that if you don't have speed with your links, you don't really want to be caught out in the field against them. Now, they are the same speed, so you're not necessarily going to lose all your Zerglings like you would against Hellions, but you still got to be careful. And he's just going to waltz right on into the main, check out what's going on with IEDRA. He does scout the spawning pool, which is nothing out of the ordinary. And he's going to shoot away. So I'm kind of curious as to why Elfi moved into the main just a little bit, not enough to see a whole lot. And he's getting a couple shits. He's getting a couple shits on that Queen. No, the Queen is shitting on the hatchery, though. IEDRA has what? He's got 8 Zerglings, and he's producing 6 more. So already these Stalkers have paid for themselves. They are forcing so many links from IEDRA. I feel like IEDRA should have just dropped down a spine, but it's kind of late for that now. 3 Stalkers, and he is just continuing to chrono boost that gateway. That's how he's got 3 Stalkers out here so fast. And all IEDRA can do until his speed gets done is push the Stalkers back, shoo him away. And he will indeed do that. See, look at that. Perfect timing. There's 20 seconds left on the boost. He needs time to run back, and there's going to be plenty of time for his Stalkers to get out. So maybe that's why he was just scouting out the spawning pool to see, has IEDRA started that speed or not? And indeed, he saw that IEDRA had started the speed. He, you know, killed what? 2 Zerglings, it looks like. Got some scouting information, forced a lot of links from IEDRA, and he's only up by 4 drones right now, and now he's just progressing into a nice, simple expansion play. So great play by Elfi. It's always the little things like that that truly matter when you're playing against the Zerg. Forcing the extra units, killing a couple Zerglings, and just making them feel uncomfortable. Because I know if I'm IEGIdrA right now, I know that 3 Stalkers went in and did some harassment. They're the Stalkers are still alive, and you know, he could follow that up with something pretty dangerous. He got those Stalkers out fast, so I wouldn't be surprised if IEGIdra's kind of behind at this point just because of that. And it's actually 32 to 43. That third base really helping out IEGIdra. So despite all that harassment from those Stalkers and all those lings IEGIdra had to make, his injects are on cue. He's got just 10 excess energy on that queen. He's got 8 excess energy on that queen, and looks like no excess energy on that queen. He needs to get an inject out though. Ooh, premature force field. I know a little thing or two about premature force fields, and that was supposed to be like a penis stroke, but then I added force fields to it, and it doesn't really make sense. It's like, oh, what, you play Protoss too? And okay, I kind of blew that. But anyway, 52 to 39, and again, Elfi needs to either take a third or make something happen with his gateways. Is he getting anything else? He's got a robotics facility. We've got an observer on the way. IEGIdra's got a overlord watching the air path between the 2 bases. And a oh, this is so cool. Phoenix the first 2 games, and now he's sending in a hallucinated Phoenix. The only problem is one, IEGIdra's probably going to notice that it's not going to do any damage, and 2, IEGIdra will know that if there's a single Phoenix, it's probably not real, because 1, it's not going to do any damage if it was real, and 2, in past games, Elfi has sent in about 5 or so in his initial attack. So yeah, IEGIdra will realize they're fake if he's paying attention. I hope so. I hope he doesn't throw down some spores. That'd be quite silly of him. And poof they go, and the Overlord actually saw that one poof and saw that second one poof. Looks like a Zergling does go down in the process of scouting that third base. And IEGIdra is going to be going the Roach game this time around. Not going to be producing any Phoenix, losing a couple more Zerglings a bit carelessly to that Sentry Stalker force, and it's now 50 to 68. Hydra Den coming up. Is there a robotics bay? Yes, there is. And this is kind of concerning because Roach Hydra not the greatest response to Colossal Might. To Colossal Might. Yeah, that actually makes sense. I am so elegant today. Eloquent. Elegant. Well, I guess I'm elegant too. I'm wearing this very beautiful pink dress and just dancing around like a pretty fairy. Anyway, the first Colossus on the way, and this Hydra Den, I don't know about that, man. Those Colossus are just going to rip up the Hydras, the Lings, the Roaches, and if the Colossus doesn't, kill that force, it'll be because either IEGIdra attacks early enough in that there's not enough Colossi, which it looks like there's just about to be the first one, or Elfi doesn't force field properly, and he's got 6 sentries with about full energy, so I don't see that happening. IEGIdra's 4th base now going up. He does have that macro hatch. That's kind of a standard thing for him nowadays, to get a macro hatch connecting his natural and his main. It doesn't look like there's any injects going down on that hatchery. I wonder if he just kind of occasionally brings that queen up to inject whenever he's got excess energy. That's what I would do. And here come the Roaches. He's timing this attack with the speed of the Roaches. Now, this isn't necessarily going for the kill. He mainly just wants to, get some wear down the Protoss army. There's only, 8 Colossi and 1 Colossus and 8 Stalkers. Here come the force fields. Decent force fields, used a lot to only trap in about 6 Roaches. But these Roaches, man, they're sniping the sentries. IEGIdra wants to snipe the sentries. He's actually going to get it with 3 with them. I can't talk today. He's actually going to get away with 3 of them. And now going to work on these gateways. These gateways look to be more of a wall up than anything else. He's got 9 of them now. And 1 of them going down. 2 of them going down. And this is where I would expect IEGIdra to either get a Spire, because he's now running on 4 bases, or an Infestation Pit, because eventually the Colossus are going to hit a critical number where he's not going to be able to deal with them with just Hydra Roach Ling. You can see here he's pretty content just throwing away units for some buildings, for Zealots and Sentries here and there, but he's going to need something else, and I'm curious to see what it's going to be. Actually, he might just try to just continue in with the Roach pressure, but they just go in and get desecrated by these Colossus, and yes, I said desecrated, so screw you. Oh, he's gonna lose 1 Colossus, almost losing the 2nd Colossus. IEGIdra continuing to put on the pressure with the Roaches. He's not even droning anymore, and I think he really wants to try to make these Roaches work, but I mean, I would love to see a switch up. He's got the Protoss player tucked in his base. Protoss doesn't have a whole lot of forces. I mean, look at the supply count. Yet IEGIdRA's not really making the switch to deal with the inevitable Colossus Ball. He's now droning up. He's got double gas working here. There's just beautiful timings on his 4th base, man. Moving out with the roaches, keeping the Protoss at bay, and then expanding behind it, knowing the roaches probably aren't going to get the job done, but they're going to scare the Protoss and you know, force him to stay in his base, and that's exactly what's happening. Here comes the Spire. The 4th base is getting there. He's got a good drone count though, 83, so he doesn't really need a lot of drones on minerals. And I'd say he's looking very good, although right now is a vulnerable moment for IEGIdRA, especially with that 3rd Colossus coming out. And if the Toss were to move out right now, I don't know if the Spire units would come out in time to do a lot to this. And I think we are just going to see either Corruptors from the Spire or a quick lair once this Infestation Pit comes out for really fast Broodlords. And I'm kind of leaning towards the Broodlords, so I guess you have to make Corruptors to make Broodlords anyway, so we'll probably see some Corruptors. But if you notice the timing of the Spire and the Infestation Pit, they're going to get done at almost the exact same time. And I think that was intentional. He wants to start the Infestation Pit when the Spire is halfway done. So right now we've got 8 Hydras, which is good. I don't like seeing a lot of Hydras against Colossi, and 39 Roaches against a huge Stalker Colossus army, and he's still got a couple sentries, maybe for a single Guardian Shield, a couple Force Fields. That's really all you need. And ooh, Elfi doing something ballsy, expanding towards IEGIdRA with that Nexus. Will he push out, or will he just be content to guard that expansion? He's actually close to maxing out, and this is dangerous for IEGIdRA. He's got 6 Corruptors. That Hive is on the way. Broodlords are not going to come in time. I feel like this is the deciding moment in the game. This is the turning point. If IEGIdRA can defend this attack and wait until Broodlords, he'll win. And if Elfi is able to bust down this base, I think he's going to have the big advantage here. He's trying to find an opening, but IEGIdRA positioning his forces in such a way. Oh no! If Force Fields go down right here, no, they don't. Colossi or Corruptors are moving in, getting a couple shots, destroying 1 Colossus, down to 3, but a poor rally by Elfi, actually losing 1 Stalker right there. IEGIdRA reinforcing with 14 more Roaches. Will IEGIdRA be able to create his greater Spire during all this havoc? Terrible, terrible concave for IEGIdRA. Stalkers flanking. This might be it for him. 30 Roaches being rallied. He's got no time to waste with the greater Spire or anything but Roaches. But I don't think it's going to be enough. These Stalkers, even without the Colossi, pretty damn good against Roaches. And the Blink is going to be up soon. And just with Blink Micro added to that, this is going to be bad for IEGIdRA. 15 more Roaches to add to that 30. He loses that base. And, oh man, I feel like after that initial Roach circling attack, he needed to transition into Infestors or Spire much faster. We're not seeing a whole lot. Oh my god, where did all these forces come from? He's actually trying to do a counterattack and cut off the reinforcements. A 2-pronged attack. Is IEGIdRA going to be able to hold this? There's only 1 Colossus left. That Roach, or that Corruptor, was able to pick up that first one. And IEGIdRA actually is going to hold this. I completely spaced on where the rest of IEGIdRA's army was, and he was able to counterattack and kill the Nexus, then come back for the flank, and you know, finish off the force of Elfi. So now IEGIdRA's looking incredible. He's got this base down that he's going to transfer to, and remind me to go back to like around 18 minutes, 17:30. I got to remind myself, I guess. You guys can't really remind me, to see exactly when those forces were doing that, because those guys just came out of nowhere. He is +2 attack, while Elfi is only sitting at +1, the +2 on the way. But that was a great move by IEGIdRA, and his injects were spot on. He had so many Roaches coming out. He made like 45 Roaches in a row. I don't know how you even have that much larva. But the 4th base has been replaced. It's not going to be at this location, which is a lot closer, which is actually good. You know, he's going to have to transfer further his drones to start mining. But if the Protoss is going to try to attack this with all of his forces, he's going to get counterattacked and just lose the game. So it's actually a little better having these expansions down here. And what do we got from Elfi? We just got the same, you know, gateways. He's got like 13 gateways. Still only 1 robotics facility. He's got the blink up, and he's working on chrono boosting out that forge, +2 weapons. But still, IEGIdRA's upgrades a little bit better. The Greater Spire is started, but it's later. Harvest count, we're looking at 69 to 76 spine crawlers coming down, and IEGIdRA scouting for any kind of, you know, hidden base, any extra base. And after his Lings have done the whole map patrol, he's got to know he's in pretty good shape. He's on 4 base to 3 base, getting his 5th base. Greater Spire is on the way. And are the Broodlords going to get here in time? He's not making any Broodlords, or he's got no room for any Broodlords, I should say. But you know, last battle, these Spines and Spores really helped, and he's got a lot of Spines and a single Spore for Dark Templar. But he's actually he's still making Corruptors, so he's not going to have any supply for Broodlords. I don't think he'll need them, to be honest. It's only 177 worth of Protoss units, and he has 2-1 compared to just 2-0-0. And actually, Elfi is going to back off. I don't think he knows what to do at this point. He doesn't have a whole lot of... Oh, we got some Link counterattack. That's why he's backing off. He doesn't have a whole lot of Colossi. And, you know, against such a roach-heavy force, that's really what you need. Nice unit spread here from EGIdrA. I feel like EGIdrA needs to make even more buildings so he can start getting Broodlords. There we go. Now we've got the Broodlords coming out. Freed up food somehow. Not sure where that was. Yeah, a couple down here, it looks like. A couple more up here. And here comes Elfi. Ooh, these Spines might stall long enough for the Broodlords to finish. Only 3 Colossi still. A kind of a useless blink right there. He's trying to find an attacking point. EGIdrA with the Broodlords, and they have arrived. This is bad for Elfi. This is going to be so bad for Elfi. Even with blink, this is not going to matter. There's just too many Broodlords, and looks like he is going to blink away. Are we going to see a couple of starports being thrown down to try to deal with these Broodlords? I don't know. But I feel like EGIdrA can just kind of slow push with his Broodlords to this expansion and just slowly gain map control once again and win out. It's now at 7 Broodlords. No attack upgrade. It is on the way. It's got Pathogen Glands and 1 more Corruptor. But they're just kind of doing the army dance right now. A mismanaged Stalker there gets taken down. That poor bastard. He's got to be mad at Elfi after that. And here's a lot of Overlords. To see if it even supply caps EGIdrA. 200, 200. Yes, it finally does. But there are 6 more on the way. Broodlords raining down. Oh, a nice blink. EGIdrA not really supporting his Broodlords as well as he could, but there's still 6 of them, 5 of them. He was only able to snipe 2 of them, and these Stalkers just getting caught off guard by that main force of EGIdrA. And these, oh wow, these Colossi are getting flanked like crazy, actually. They didn't really have anywhere to run. And the Broodlords were taken out, but Broodlords, they're going to be sniped first. You have to expect that to happen. But the key point here is EGIdrA still has this entire army, and as a Zerg, he can reinforce much, much faster than the Protoss, and he does end up taking that game. So I want to scoot back real fast to that initial attack that was just flabbergasting me. I mean, EGIdrA didn't get his tier 3 tech or infestors or corruptors in time, and so I thought he was going to lose. I mean, he was losing so many forces here. If we check out the units lost tab, he's down by over 3,000, almost 3,000. And this is where I kind of want to watch. You know, I was just looking at this force, it's very tiny, but then here come all the roaches. And meanwhile, the Toss is just kind of working on this. Roaches, roaches, still nothing. More roaches dying, then they just kind of back off. And then he had a huge rally of forces, and this is where he chose to counterattack. And I think a little bit it might have been out of desperation, but he actually picked off some reinforcing units, and that also allowed him to get a flank in from the roaches on the right. So pretty cool play. Even a couple of roaches and hydras flanking up there, forcing Elfi off, and just superior macro, not necessarily army composition, was able to win the game for EGIdrA. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I do not have my G button, so you guys get a bag of dental floss thingy sticks. There you go. Yeah, you like that, bitches, don't you? Fucking sluts. Hello everybody, this is P to the Psy, and this